up, down, and if I can, I'm gonna to the side, him into this awkward back down. Now we're gonna do one of my favorite techniques in all of wrestling. It's the front headlock throw, and we will stick in a control position and we will go right for a submission. So let's do it. So the front headlock to control is something like this. Down, up, down, and if I can, I'm gonna finish it right away. So let's check it out. We start in a wrestling position, and first want to get head control. So many people do the mistake that when they start fighting, they get in the hand fights too much. So his hands are just an inconvenience. His hands are not my opponent. His hands are not my goal, not my target. I love to target the hands for wrist locks and whatever, but not now. Now I just want to sweep them out of the way. So I get wrist control, just cover them. I will not use a thumb breaker grip, I'll use a shoulder grip to just cover them, and then pull and get neck control. Or on this side, hop, 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 hop. Okay? And I'm hanging onto his head a bit. Now if I can bend his head, I'll try to get head control. So I'm gonna snap down and drive in. It's important to not reach over the head. When I reach over the head, he's too stable, he can stand up, and then I got a problem. So hand control, head control, pull, whap. Now I'll cup his chin. Look, I'm grabbing his chin, cupping. That way I'm stabilizing the head, and then I pull down the head, and I'll clasp him onto me like a very expensive handbag. And the next thing I want to do is, for the basic throw, get an uppercut and an underhook. An uppercut would be beautiful, but that's more wishful thinking right now. So underhook, step to the side, pull him down, and I keep control of his head. It's so important, right? It's not dangerous at all. I pull his head a bit, it's a bit uncomfortable, but there's no danger in it if I do it correct. So got his head and I got an underhook. And it's very uncomfortable. If it's wrestling, pin him down. But now it's grappling. So I got an underhook, I got head control. The quickest way to finish the fight is to just grab the bottom of my hand, boom, step over, and do a guillotine from side mount. Like so. So let's see that one again, a couple details more. Bring my shoulder close and control the head. Right now I'm grabbing more of the neck than the back of the head, because I'm not interested in bending the head right now. I'm more interested in keeping it in place. Now I cannot pull down his head because he's strong. He can take my whole weight if he wants to. So to bring him down I need to off balance him, and it's so easy. I just take one step, and when he steps he's unstable and his head will come down just a tad, just a bit, and then I'm gonna feed his head into my other arm, like so, and then kamehameha, like hop, and so I still have control of his head, I got control of his jaw, and I bring my shoulder here on his prominence, the big vertebrae that sticks out a bit, that stands out a bit. I bring my shoulder here to really load his head. And look, I clasp his head. Yeah, it's more comfortable to have his head here far on my side, but that makes it very possible for him to erect his head and stand up if he's very strong. Yeah, and I cannot accept that. So instead I have his head here firm on my rib cage, on the side of my rib cage, and clasp him. See, you see his head cannot push through, right? Yeah, he can't. I'm just gonna walk. If he's pushing, I'm gonna walk. I don't even care. So it's very difficult for him to free his head. I got control, and I got a gazillion different attacks from here, right? I could start punching if allowed, or kneeing, or do whatever, but now it's pure grappling. And the smallest, the easiest attack that I can make with a great security of success is try to go for the underhook. Because when I want to go for the underhook and he does not want me to go for the underhook, Do not want me to go for the underhook? Yeah, then I can go for, oh, now he wants me to go for the underhook. Because when his arm is here, that's the underhook enough. If he does not want me, he needs to bring his arm forward. And when it's forward, I go overhook, right? And then I go for whatever. So now I get underhook, even if it's very tight, be tight. That's enough of an underhook for me. Look here, that's enough. I just ippon can my hand in here, because now, when I want to make him roll, and that's important, I can just lift here a bit, okay? Now I want to make him roll. So I do not pull him into me. When I pull him into me, I expose my legs and he could go for double leg or whatever. Instead, I step to the side. Okay, 90 degrees. That opens up here. And now I'm bringing my weight down and pull his head here. If I push his head straight down, I go straight against his strength. He can take a lot of weight here. But I need to kuzushi to off balance him forward. So I pull him and I push up here. If I can, I reach over his back, straight over, to force him into this awkward kind of roll. Okay? And then I'm down here. Boom. And one more detail is really important, because when I try to roll, where do you see it best from here? So when I roll him, right now he's going to frame. So he's elbow framing right now. What's from here? So right now he's elbow framing. So when I'm coming in like this, I'm already framed. You see? Okay? So that's why instead, as soon as he's rolling down, my right knee starts to pass. Whoop. And I can even bring it under his near side arm. So now I got very good control. Right, in the case I got this arm, I got the head, I got everything I could ever wish for. And now I'm gonna finish with the guillotine close and see my shoulder is still here. And now all I need to do is control his hip by stepping over. Just step. Do not lay on him. Most people want to come here, but it's much more difficult now, because if I'm flat, it's difficult to control his head, much more easy for him to escape. So instead I stay in side mount, step over, I'm comfortable. My weight is on my left knee, I'm very comfortable here, and I can just finish him. And if it does not work, right, I have many ways to transition into another attack. So let's wrap it up again. Literally wrap him up again. Head control, pull, and now see I'm pushing into him, hop, and then switch. Back down, knee in, hop, I got control. If you want to go for the head, close, and finish. That's the basic front headlock throw. Everybody should know it. It's one of the staple moves in wrestling. And you see, we combine it with a submission attempt to increase the technical, strategical, and also breathing pressure onto our opponent and go for the finish much quicker. Try it out for yourself. Any feedback is appreciated. I will answer any question you have, and see you next time.